So I've ventured into London with the idea of popping along to the South Bank just to give an update on how things are going on the site of the old ITV studios, or LWT. Depends which way you look at it. Depends when you might have been employed there or how you know it. I was here around about 6 months ago, seeing the start of the demolition, or they were actually halfway through it, and was confronted by this, a massive building site. But that's it, that's the end of ITV on the South Bank in one way or another. And where the big office block was, I'm not sure what I was expecting, but you wouldn't even know there's one bin there. I'm told on the site of the office block that'll just be 2 stories high now, and will be accommodation probably with retail outlets along the South Bank. What was once a hub of what I think summed up British TV, all that was great about British TV, and in the very spots all those massive TV shows like Blind Date, Cannon and Ball, all those kind of shows were once done, is now mud pie effectively. It's a big hole in the ground and ready for its next stage. Couldn't help but, while I'm in London, to stop off here at Television Centre. I always like to come back here. It's looking very smart now, I have to say. Look at this, lots of flats. And this building, this is the first time I've seen it since it's been complete. So that's what was the restaurant block. Over there is where TC8 was. And I think up there would have been where the bridge would have been that took you from the restaurant block over to the main block. But in there, literally, right where you see this office space, would have been at the back of the left there, the Blue Peter Garden. It's all vacant offices at the moment. No doubt they'll be filled. I believe above that, from what I can see, certainly around the other side at the least, looks like it's apartments, or it could be offices, don't know. I just saw some sheets or something out on the balcony, so I assumed people were living there. What a change. So this is how TV Centre, or what was TV Centre, in my opinion, is now looking. Look at all these amazing flats. Expensive flats at that, I'm told, as well. On the site of what you and I used to pay for in our TV licence fee, which was sold off to help raise some cash for the BBC when they had to clear some of their property portfolio, because the Labour government decided they were going to cut funding to the BBC. Anyway, lots of construction still taking place, more buildings going up in front. So on the left there is TC3. TC4 would have been there, in there somewhere. So that's TC3. 2's around the corner, TC1 further around than that. And you can just see going up there is the replacement for East Tower. So here we are coming into the floor space now of the Studio 4, so that's TC4. Think of the TV shows that were made in this area. TC4, 5, where I directed my first ever live Watchdog back in the day. Around the corner from that, TC6, where I used to direct on the lottery. Around the corner from that was 7, where I used to do Saturday Superstore. And TC8, just further around the corner, which you can't see there, where I worked on my last ever show that I directed here at TV Centre, called Cool Stuff Collective, ironically for CITV. And that was a very sad day, because I knew that would be the last time I'd ever direct in these wonderful buildings, these wonderful studios. And now it's a housing estate. Onwards and upwards. Now, what's my take on all this? I can only give you my humble opinion, and that's all it is. I want to make that very clear. I've been directing, producing for 38 years, and the way it's going at the moment with people of my experience, we're not needed anymore, or certainly a lot less, or until things go wrong. But I've certainly seen a decline in production, obviously, and I think you've only got to watch TV now to understand it's not the same. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Viewing habits have changed, people have changed, and there's a new generation coming up that don't view things the same way. So, you've got to go with the times. And some of that means they just don't need big studio spaces. We know that. But I think there are a lot of people now working in television that have a different view on why they want to work in television. More political than creative. And if you don't fit into that political view, you're out. So it wasn't about your skill, and it still isn't now, I don't think. I've seen lots of people fast-tracked over the last few years, and it's no surprise to me that things are not working out the way they should for television, because the attitudes are different. They're setting the agenda for what you and I are now watching on television. And you've only got to make up your own mind and whether you agree with what you see. My views are not necessarily right. As I said, they're just my views on the way things are. So I think we can safely say that TV in the way it was has long gone. Certainly we know that certain programs that are shown on now, comedies in particular, made during the 70s and 80s, they've all got a disclaimer at the front of them. I think that's very telling in itself. When I started, my job as a producer director, if you can imagine a timeline was that big, I'd come in here, get hired in, produce the show, hire the talent, do everything that needed to be, create the scripts, hire the crew. I'd have 4 people working above me and helping me coordinate things, an executive producer, a coordinator, production manager. They'd be working to me, and an executive producer. That all changed, and my role as a producer director went down to just a few days, or even just a few weeks. Meanwhile, at the top of the tree, loads and loads of people joined the industry as staff, and of course that's where a lot of the money went. There are a lot of very entitled people working in television now, and I said there's not a lot of creativity, not a lot of creative people in the industry. That's not true. There are some, but a majority of them are there because they've been fast-tracked, perhaps, and that comes with a different agenda, really, and that's just an entitled agenda. Their narrative is now being given to us every single day and everything we watch, except the old shows. We're being told that's wrong. That's a wrong agenda. That's the way we view things back in the day. So we should be thinking that now. Their view, that's those now running the industry, their view is right. Ours is wrong. I don't think the impartiality is there that used to be there. The question is, are we prepared to accept that that's the way things are? Those people are now running things and want to do it their way, and our way is right. And I think that's dangerous.